All right, so doing a quick video here in the studio, but one of the things that's actually happening in terms of the housing prices, which I've done quite often, is the fact that we are starting to get a lot of people who are moving here from Seattle and other places too, but a lot of the boost in population recently has been from people in Seattle, and the home prices have actually went up, and so that's nothing new. One of the things that Noel had mentioned that I also have noticed is the number of high-end cars. I know that sounds silly, but I've seen more high-end cars in the last few months than I have in the last 2 years. It seems like you see a lot of them. I don't know the name of the BMW, but it looks like a sports car. It looks kind of like a Lamborghini, but it's a BMW. I've seen a lot of Teslas, seen a lot of different things down here, and actually Lamborghinis as well. So I don't know. I mean, is it that we're getting a lot more people who have a lot of money that's moving here? Typically you're expecting people who have money to buy in the $700,000 range, you're expecting them to actually choose Seattle. Well, it seems like that house price, which also exists down here, is a price that a lot of folks are going after. So the $500,000 to $750,000 home, there's a lot of folks that are trying to get those just as much as they're trying to get the homes that are under 400,000. And so what it's doing is it's starting to price more and more people out. Now, I had mentioned before, someone had asked me if there's some sort of a I'm gonna put this here. This is better. Sorry, because my arm hurts. They were asking if there's a housing bubble here, and I said no. I don't think that there was. I don't think that there was up in Seattle, and I felt that it was a correction. And I said, we would have to determine. This was at 2018. We would have to determine the first few months of 2019 to see if that's the case. And really and truly, Seattle's home prices have corrected, and they're just stabilizing pretty much right now. They're still pretty pricey. I mean, you're going to be able to still buy two houses down here for the price of one up in Seattle. But what you're seeing is that we are growing very fast in terms of the house price cost. We're still the cheapest place. I mean, if you look at any other county, Pierce County is going to be the cheapest. If you look at any other city, then Tacoma is still going to be a little bit more of a bargain. So that's driving up prices. Now, keep in mind too, when you look at some of these smaller cities, the prices for homes might be higher because demand is there. Tacoma is a much bigger city. There's more housing stock, so the prices are going to follow what it needs to. If you go into a city that doesn't have a large population and you have 40 people looking for homes, but there's only 15 homes, then the values of properties are going to start going up a lot higher because there's actually much more demand than there is supply. In Tacoma, much bigger population, many more houses being built, a lot more available stock, but still not enough for the actual demand. So you're not going to have prices that are crazy high like you have in other places. So, but that's starting to change, and we're seeing more and more and more and more of that. Now, one of the things too that I think is important to mention is a lot of folks are waiting for that sweet spot to happen. I've had a couple of people say, I'm waiting for the prices to go down because they went down in Seattle. So more than likely prices will go down again, et cetera, et cetera. Or if the bubble were to burst, then, prices will go down. And I just don't see that happening. I think that what, again, happened in Seattle was a lot of speculation. And I had said that for a long time. A lot of speculation, a lot of people buying homes, setting on them and waiting for the price to go up so high and then they could sell it. You had a lot of folks from China buying homes too, and doing what they did up in Vancouver, which was buying a lot of homes, sitting on them, waiting. No one's living in them, and then when the price is so high, they just sell it. Well, a lot of that stuff has stopped. And so you're seeing basically a point where people just chose something different. Here in this area, and you know, every region's different. I don't know about Vancouver, Canada, but here there's a lot of options in terms of cities that people can definitely, and I'm sure up there too, but there's a lot of options for people to choose. And so it really just pushed people further out. A lot of people who are moving here are coming from other places too. So Seattle may not have been a good fit for them. So why go to a city that might not be a good fit, super expensive, you want a home, you have kids, and so you want to kind of just get settled. So a lot of folks just chose to bypass Seattle altogether. And so I think what happened was that a lot of sellers realized that, hey, this isn't working. So a lot of those people pulled their houses off the market and just sat on them for a little bit to see if the prices are going to go back up. And they did start to go back up towards this time of the year. But again, we're going into the cold months. So you're not going to see a huge flood of home prices going up because it's the time of year when people are not interested. Typically, right before school starts, you have the last wave of folks typically buying homes. And over the summer months, people buy homes. You know, when it's nice weather, people go and they buy homes. So even with all of that, Tacoma is still actually selling quite a bit of homes, and the value of those home prices are going up to match that. So I don't think that there's an actual bubble. I never felt that there was. I felt that there was a true correction, and that seems to be the case. Down here and also in Thurston County, which is Olympia, there's a lot of room to grow. I mean, even if you look at outlying cities and the value of those homes, I mean, Olympia and Tacoma have a lot of room to actually grow and still be totally fine. So you're seeing that. You're seeing that the prices of homes are going up there. And I've said before, I mean, a lot of the people up in Seattle are being pushed down to the south because they're able to get approved more. I mean, even if you look at Everett, I mean, the home prices up in Everett are over $400,000. They're still not at $400,000 down here on average in Tacoma. So a lot of folks, they can't get to that point. So even if they wanted to financially, bank lending, it's not going to happen. So when you add that in, and then the people who do the cash only, it just doesn't make it an option. So Tacoma is also becoming the place where a lot of folks are moving to, but it's pushing other folks who have lived here forever wanting a home to consider places like Olympia. So I think eventually you're going to see the same thing happen there. The prices go up so much that locals can't really afford it. The salaries down in Thurston County are less than they are up here. So you're just going to see more and more push. But yeah, right now would be probably a really good time. If you're looking to buy a home in Tacoma, I would say don't wait. I've said that before, but I think now is definitely going to be do or die for some folks. Prices here aren't going to show any sort of way of going down anytime in the future. It seems like, unless something national happens, if there's a recession, that's different, but locally, I just don't see that happening. Anyhow, I got to get back, got some work to do. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.